It's Thursday, June 29th. Good morning, everyone. I'm Jasmine Anderson. Topping your headlines, an air quality alert for the island today. Smoke from Canadian wildfires expected to fill our skies with haze and smoke again. Here's a look at the smoke forecast. We will feel the impacts of the unhealthy air today with an air quality advisory in place through midnight. Here's a look at Ponquag Bridge in Hampton Bays. You can see it's a bit hazy, but things won't be as bad this time around.
The potential of that smoke drifting over the island. That's why that's out there, especially for people who are susceptible to such things. If you have health problems, you might consider being very careful outdoors for the next day or two. But it will not be, again, will not be as bad as that previous event.
Bill, thanks. The air quality is expected to remain unhealthy for children, pregnant mothers, and people with heart and lung conditions through at least tomorrow. As of now, officials say it's too soon to predict how smoke could impact major fireworks displays planned for the 4th of July holiday. Stay with us for continuing coverage of the air quality concerns. We'll have the latest breaking developments here on NewsdayTV, on Newsday.com, and on our mobile app. Only on Newsday, a judge tossed a lawsuit by the man at the center of Burke Spoda convictions. A Brooklyn federal judge dismissed a lawsuit alleging Suffolk police assaulted and terrorized Christopher Loeb, whose 2012 beating by cops led to prison terms for former police chief James Burke and ex-DA Thomas Spoda. Court records show the suit was dismissed Friday because Loeb and his attorney filed it after the statute of limitations had expired. More travel chaos thanks to storms and staffing shortages. Officials say today will be the busiest travel day at our airports of the holiday period. Since Tuesday's storms, thousands of flights at LaGuardia, JFK, and Newark have been canceled or delayed. Earlier this year, the FAA warned it could struggle to keep flights moving in New York this summer, thanks to an air traffic controller shortage at a key facility here on Long Island. And adding to the problems, yesterday's troubles here, take a look at this. A Delta flight was forced to make an emergency landing here in Charlotte. The plane's nose landing gear failed to come down. The runway was closed for 8 hours. Mascot update for you. Amityville schools will comply with the state's deadline to remove Native American imagery. The Amityville School Board agreed last night to comply with tomorrow's deadline. A member of the Montaukett Indian Nation addressed the pain of seeing caricatures of Native Americans in previous yearbooks.
We've been here and we're not going anywhere. And you can decide whatever you want about the name, but we are going to fight it on the state level.
At least 13 Long Island districts are affected by the state ban. They have until the end of next school year to implement the changes or risk losing state aid.
Newsday Sports is brought to you by PC Richard & Son.
Perfection on the mound. Yankees pitcher Domingo Germán achieving baseball immortality.
Grounded to third. Donaldson has it. There it is. Perfection for Domingo Germán.
Wow, look at that. Germán retired every batter he faced in all 9 innings in the Yankees' 11-0 road win against the Oakland A's last night. It was just the 24th perfect game in Major League Baseball history. The Yanks now hold the record for the team with the most perfect games with 4. Congratulations. Meanwhile, the disappointment continues for the Mets after another loss to Milwaukee. The team's owner, Steve Cohen, is now weighing in on the team's, quote, terrible first half performance. David Lennon was at Citi Field yesterday with a look at what's next for the Mets.
Mets owner Steve Cohen staged his much-anticipated press conference this afternoon at Citi Field and expressed feelings that a lot of the Mets fan base has probably been expressing lately, calling the first half of the season terrible and expressing his disappointment quite frequently during the half-hour or so session he was on stage.
If you ask me, would I have expected us to be in this position at the beginning of the season, the answer is no. But here we are, and, hopefully we can right the ship.
One in particular he was asked about were the futures of general manager Billy Epler and field manager Buck Showalter, and said they both absolutely would stay on for the remainder of this season. He also said, however, that he's renewing his efforts to fill the position of president of baseball operations, which is something he hadn't talked about lately, especially after the 101-win season a year ago. Now it seems to be back on the radar based on the way this disappointing season has progressed to this point.
Listen, fourth place is not the goal, okay? And anytime you end up in fourth place, to sit and do nothing is probably not a great place to be, okay? So, getting into specifics, I don't know what the answers are. We'll figure out what went wrong, and then figure out how to fix it.
He's not ruling out a turnaround at this point. Said there's still plenty of time to do that. He thinks the pieces are in place to make it happen. This is David Lennon for NewsdayTV.
Let's hope they bounce back. Read more on the Mets' struggles on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. We're learning more about Madonna's medical emergency. The star spent several days in intensive care after developing a serious bacterial infection on Saturday, according to her manager. The singer is expected to make a full recovery, but has postponed her world tour that was set to kick off next month. It was supposed to stop at MSG in August and at the Barclays in December. Newsday at the movies. Indiana Jones is back on the big screen on the island today.
You found something on a train during the war. A dial that could change the course of history.
Why are you chasing the thing that drove your father crazy?
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is the 5th installation in the franchise. It's probably Harrison Ford's last time playing the famous archaeologist. Check out the review by Newsday film critic Rafer Guzman. Before you see it, go to Newsday.com, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Your hyper-local weather, there is that air quality alert, so you're advised to limit outdoor activities. Mostly sunny and warm this afternoon, highs around 80 degrees. Tonight we dip down to the 60s. Tomorrow, sunny and highs around 81 degrees. A look at your 7-day forecast coming up.
Watch Newsday TV on the big screen. Use the remote to activate Siri, Alexa, Roku, or the Google Assistant on your streaming device. Say Install Newsday. Newsday TV, covering Long Island like no one else can. What's Up on Long Island is brought to you by PC Richard & Son.
Here's what's up on Long Island.
I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker.
Catch the Steve Miller Band. They are playing at Jones Beach on Saturday night. There are July 4th celebrations across the island, including the fireworks display at Eisenhower Park Saturday. There's the Southampton Firecracker 5K. The fun begins at 8 a.m. on Sunday morning, rain or shine. For admission info and more events, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box on our homepage. You can see free Outdoor Shakespeare on productions on the island this summer. It's a story you'll see only in Newsday.
picking in Windsor.
I think Shakespeare is so often performed outdoors because that is where he was originally performed. The Globe, of course, had no roof, and people would enjoy the elements as the show went on. On Long Island especially, we have so many beautiful parks and locations that we can perform at, and we are performing at a dozen of them. So we are happy to be bringing it to all sorts of locations. It can be a little bit difficult. Sometimes we are obviously competing against the weather.
Well, the play usually runs at least 2.5 hours, so an hour of it had to be removed so that we could keep it a little bit more accessible to an audience that's coming to sit outside. We are obviously fighting the elements and the weather, so the main change was to be able to adapt it for audiences who are going to be sitting in lawn chairs or on blankets. We at Eastline don't believe that certain roles of certain genders need to be played by those specifically assigned genders. She is playing a man, but that doesn't mean that that character cannot be played by a woman, especially in a play where the main character of Falstaff is sort of trying to trick two women. So it ended up being a happy accident that brought new life to the play.
It can be a little bit difficult. Sometimes we are obviously competing against the weather, but it is, in the end, it is what makes it fun.
Looks like a good time. Read more about Outdoor Shakespeare on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
Get more of the stories you've seen on Newsday TV at Newsday.com. Plus breaking news, investigations, things to do, restaurants, and other Long Island news you can't get anywhere else. At Newsday.com, covering Long Island like no one else can.
I'm Jasmine Anderson. Happy Thursday. Thanks for watching. We'll leave you with a look at your hyperlocal 7-day forecast.